Hello everyone, welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. We're back here on Elm Creek with Grober Games. So we are in the month of April now. Last month we got quite a bit done. We got two of our neighbors' fields sowed for them with cotton, and then we got our own fields sown with, some sunflowers. Gosh, I don't know why I struggle to figure that out right now. A few things we gotta do today is that right now, this is the month I told Johnson's Farmers Market I would bring some wool into them. I was checking food for sheep because I forgot to feed them last month, but they got enough yet to get by. Just have to make sure I feed them tonight before we call it a day. So we're gonna hook up our trailer here and get that all sold, and then we gotta get all our fabric loaded up as well and sold. So we got quite a bit of income that's gonna be coming our way today. And the rest of the wool we produce throughout this year, we're going to shove into our own spinnery so we can keep that going. I should actually check quick. I haven't checked lately. Oh yeah, we got enough for another day or two, so. So we ought to be good there. Just had to mute the mic there to clear my throat out for a second. More advertisement for Kubota there. Like I said, it kind of surprises me that they go, when they do their updates for the game, that they'll actually go and change the billboard, like in-game billboards, which is actually kind of a cool thing, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't know if I'm the only one who's noticed that stuff, but we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna head off to Johnson's Farmers Market, get all this wool we have unsold, so we'll probably make, I'm guessing around 20 grand off this, hopefully. Which will put us about 150,000. And then I don't know how much fabric we got. I'm hoping if it's anything like last year, we'll be well in over the $200,000 mark, which is going to be great for us, especially since we're planning to invest into a combine. Oop. I really need to just stop being lazy and get my steering wheel and other stuff set up. We're gonna, woo! I didn't think it would force jackknife us that bad. But we're gonna drop this stuff off first today. So we made a little over 25 grand with the environmental score bonus, which is nice. We're at 157,000, so we'll drive on off to our spinnery here. Guy that's noticed that guy materialized out of thin air there. So we're gonna drive off to our spinnery now, get the truck loaded up there. And then the task for today is we got fertilizing to do, we got spraying to do, I think we got sowing to do yet, don't we? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got sowing. You think by now I would remember all the planting months in this game, but I don't yet. No matter how many times I sit there and look at it, it hasn't stuck with me yet. But we are gonna just drill sorghum again. I guess the main reason I keep going with sorghum instead of switching over to like soybeans or something like that is just sorghum's kind of a good safety crop for us right now, especially if we get to the point where for some reason we would go through a bunch of our barley if we need a little extra feed for our chickens. We got sorghum sitting there. So that's why I've been kind of sticking with it for now. But I'm hoping after this year, we'll make quite a bit of money where we can pick up quite a few more fields, and we can start maybe getting into our oil business, so to speak, in the next couple of years. I'm going to park the truck right here for now. But we got quite a bit of fabric again. Like I said, the unfortunate part is we're completely out of cotton. And like I said last episode, it wouldn't probably be a bad idea for us. It'd be a big investment, I should say. Just to rent the harvester, mainly. That maybe one of these years we forego planting anything else besides cotton. Well, let me not. We only plant cotton besides the one field that we'll need for barley that year. And I'm strongly considering that right now because that would be the smart move. In fact, it would have been smarter for us to do it this year, sell off our old combine at the end of this year, and just bank some money and give us a little bit more time to, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? To hopefully get a sale on a decent sized combine or look for a used combine rather than being stuck to buy brand new. But we still have a chance of getting a decent used one. Now that I think of it, I didn't check the... Oh, yes, I did. Because I was kind of disappointed with what was there. Just the Moco, the Rotomash, and that little sprayer, which we don't need. That Rotomash would have been a nice size upgrade for the farm, but we have no... For the way we farm, we have really no reason to ever invest into a big four-wheel drive tractor. Not that I can think off the top of my head right now, just because we only really need something to run the planter, and New Holland is honestly probably going to be more than a big enough tractor for us for quite a while. Especially with that 12 row. Even if we went up to 16, I don't think we really need anything that big. It's just that if we would go to the 24 row, we would have to think about upgrading to a bigger tractor. Whoop. But yeah, so right now, today's agenda, we got fertilizing to knock out, we got more planting to do, and we got spraying to do. And we're gonna hit all that stuff up here. I already went and loaded up the drill the night before, so that way we could get the bag of seed out of the box of the truck here, so that way we can hook up the trailer and get all that wool hauled away. Another thing we could probably think about investing into too, but we would have to find a good location, is I was thinking about opening up our own clothing store, so that way we could just put our fabric straight into there, and we could probably make a little bit more money off our own clothing designs and such. But we'll see what happens here. Get out of this guy's way here. Probably upset I'm ruining his walk for the day. But right now there's just so many little options on my mind of things that I want to do. It's just after this whole combine investment and a few more pieces of ground, I think we'll be able to go more into that. And maybe I'll jump the gun again. Like, I think the best investment so far in the series has been us buying that spinnery and expanding our sheep farm and investing into the chickens, because those things have been real money makers, especially the sheep have lately. And we were fortunate enough when we bought the spinnery that it had all the materials in it that it did for us. But we'll go get this fabric sold here. We'll see how much money we end up with. And then we'll hop into the New Holland and start drilling right away. Get the sorghum in. Because we only got 2 fields this year. Yeah, 2 fields this year that we got to worry about getting planted for sorghum. And they're both pretty good sized fields, so it'll take us a little bit of time, and fertilizing and spraying won't take us that long. But I think that's all we'll really have for today's episode, now that I think about it. Let's see here. Let's see how much we make off this. Almost $80,000. We're at $234,000 right now. That is great. We actually have, when we sell off our old combine and header, we'll actually have more than enough to buy the new combine and stuff. Now that I think about it, maybe if we got time before the day is over, maybe we'll call Chuck up and see if he'll buy it today. Just because I think the sooner we get rid of it, the better off we'll be. Because I feel like if we wait a few months to sell it, we're gonna lose some value on it. Granted, there's not a whole lot of value left to that old machine, let me tell you. I don't even know how many months we've had it, so that's what I should look up here quick too, just out of my own curiosity. We'll do that here when we get to this first field here. We'll see. We'll see how many months, how many years we've had it, so to speak. Let's just back this up here. Let's here. Equipment. Oh, wrong tab. Right there, harvester. 81 months, so 72 is a little over 5 years. Is my math's correct? I can't think straight right now. My mind's just buzzing with too much. All the things we got to do yet, and all the other things I want to do in this series. So I think that's what it is. Yeah, so no, it'd be 6 years. So we had that combine for over 6 years already. So that's kind of crazy to think about. So that means we've had that used class for almost, I think, over 7 years actually, since we bought it used. And I kind of looked at it the one day, and it was only like worth for trade-in value like $20-some thousand, which is kind of crazy to think about. Just the fact that because it's so old now, that's not really worth a whole lot. Granted, we're getting close to ranking up 50 hours on that tractor as well. Granted, the New Holland's not far behind, but I think we bought this at 30-ish hours, so it didn't take long for it to catch up. But we're gonna focus on today's task here. We're gonna jump into the time lapse here, and we'll see you guys at the end of this.
I'm sick of lying here all alone and nearly sleepless at night. I'm honest, it's boring. 1,000,000 demons surrounding me, picking a fight. It's toxic. You were the best I ever had, but every second you were screwing me over, and now I'm done with it. I guess that there was no surprise.
All right, everyone, this is where we're going to start wrapping up today's episode. We got quite a bit of our own work done today. We could have tried done on contract and been fine, but I think it's good for us just to focus on our own stuff right now. Just get it knocked out. So we got all our sunflower fields sprayed. We got all of them fertilized as well, and we got all our sorghum planted. So last thing we're just gonna do here for today before I forget again is we're gonna get the sheep here, a couple bales. I saw earlier there was another hay contract out there, so if we get time and it's still out there, I think we're gonna keep doing those just cause it's gonna help us more in the long run. Just cause then we don't have to worry about with us always getting a little bit of the crop off, a little bit part of that hay crop. We won't have to worry about as much as trying to bale our borders of the field for grass bales for our sheep, because with that we'll be able to get. I think hay does a little bit better job than grass, and I don't think it really makes a difference in the game, and we'll be able to make a little money while doing it as well, especially when we start getting down to the summer months where we don't have near as much stuff going on. But I'm just really excited just right now, just because we're sitting at a good amount of money. Wow, this pen took the whole bale. We'll grab this last one in here then. But I'm just really excited right now. We're sitting at a good amount of money, and we're just ready to go for this coming fall for whatever new combine we decide to ultimately get in the long run. Speaking of which, while I'm thinking of that, we're gonna run that into town and get it sold to Chuck and get it gone and out of here. I think it's as good time as any to get rid of it. The one thing I never realized either, I never realized the bottom platform on the sunflower header was actually for chopping the stalks on the sunflowers. I didn't realize that all this time. I was trying to figure out what it was. I just figured it was kind of like there was another word for it. I can't think of it. Stock stompers. Basically, this pushes the stocks over and such to help preserve the life of your tires and such on equipment. We'll have to make sure we put that back in before we take off down the road with this to sell. Grab our platform here. But you know, this is kind of a bittersweet moment right now. We're saying goodbye to a combine we've had almost for like 7 years. Which is, like I said, it's kind of a bittersweet moment for me right now. You know, we've had this combine for so long. It's hard to believe we're finally going up in the size of a combine. But like I said, we're gonna hold out throughout the summer. Wait till just to make sure there isn't a good deal for a combine, a better deal for a little bit of a bigger combine that we can cash in on, and it might even save us a little money in the long run too, instead of just buying a brand new one right off the lot. But like I said, this is where we're gonna end today's episode. When you come back, I'll have this sold, and we'll probably be a little over $250,000. So we'll be sitting all right. But if you guys enjoyed today's episode, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe so you can stay up to date to the latest series. Above all else, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. And most of all, thanks for watching.